Assalamu alaikum. Listen carefully, you chosen one, because what you are about to hear does not come by chance. If this message reaches you today, it is no coincidence. This is because Allah wants you to know something. You passed the last test. And now, the sky is ready to lean into you, ready to release what you've been waiting for in silence for so long. You are not like the others. What you went through, what you endured in silence without complaining, without giving up, all of this has been seen. You suffered in the shadows, you prayed in solitude, you cried without witnesses. And yet, you have not turned your back on your Lord. You stayed, you held on. And that perseverance, it's what set you apart. How many gave up along the way? How many doubted their faith when answers were slow? How many fled when Allah tested them? But you stayed there. You continued to trust, even when everything seemed broken. Even when you no longer understood anything, you said, Ya Allah, I stay with you. This is what it means to pass the final test. This is not an achievement visible to people. It is a feat that only the sky saw. And now, it is precisely the sky that is about to respond. The doors that you could never open alone, Allah will open them before you. The blessings you could only imagine, Allah will place them in your hands. What you are experiencing now is the end of one season and the beginning of another. You may not realize it yet, but your life is changing. And this change is not due to chance. It is the result of your endurance, of your loyalty, of your faith, which has not wavered. The signs you've passed the final ordeal. The signs are not always spectacular. They don't always manifest through obvious visions or dreams. No, they manifest themselves in the silent wear and tear of your soul, in this fatigue that you feel without being able to explain it, in this feeling of having been rushed, emptied, broken, without anything around you really justifying this state. What you experienced was an invisible war, a final test deeper than all the others. You have been tested at the level of the heart. Allah wanted to see if your love for Him was stronger than the circumstances. He wanted to see if you could stand when everything inside you was screaming to sit down. You were tested not in outward things, but in your silence, your waiting, your constancy, your naked faith. The world around you may not have known what you were going through, but Allah knew, and He wrote it all down. You may have seen doors closing one after the other, people moving away for no reason, projects failing at the last moment. This was not an oversight on the part of Allah. It was a final purification, a desired countdown, the ultimate test to separate what is false from what is true in you. Because before granting a major blessing, Allah always tests the depth of the intention. He wants to know, are you there for me or for the gifts I give? And you showed that you stayed for Him, even when the donations disappeared. You passed the exam that many fail, the ordeal of waiting without explanation. And now that you have made it to the end, now that you have not fled, that you have not cursed, that you have not given up, the sky tilts. Not to congratulate you, but to entrust you with something greater. Because those who resisted until the end are those who are prepared for sacred missions. Why was Allah silent for so long? You may have wondered why Allah was silent for so long, why He seemed absent as you cried out to Him, why the nights were long, the prayers full of tears, but with no visible answer. This silence was the real test. Not to make you doubt, but to strengthen you. When Allah loves a servant, He elevates him, and when He wants to raise him higher than others, He makes him pass through a fire that others could not bear. The silence of Allah is never abandonment. It is often a mark of trust, a sacred space where He watches if you still choose Him, even when He doesn't speak. He tested you like He tested the prophets, letting the desert settle around you to see if you would follow Him, without a map, without an apparent path, just with your heart as your compass. Those who complain at the first silence cannot bear the great responsibilities. But you stayed there, even when your soul cried out for understanding. You chose submission even when you could have fled. You remained in prostration, and that's where you stood out, not in great victories, but in your hidden endurance. You have been faithful in the invisible. The silence of Allah has refined your soul. He detached you from what was superficial. He taught you to pray without interest, to love without proof, to believe without conditions. And this is what few understand. Allah does not trust just anyone. He forges His chosen ones in the invisible, in solitude. Мзрення в тишині, тому що ті, яких він кличе, щоб вони несли світло, повинні спочатку знати, як ходити у темряві, не виходячи. Now that you understand the silence, you can hear the whisper of destiny. Now that you have not retreated from the void, you are ready to receive what was hidden. And the sky was only waiting for this moment. The shift has begun. And now, things are starting to happen. Slowly, discreetly, but deeply. Maybe you don't know how to explain it yet, but something inside you has changed. A strange peace has descended on your heart. Not a peace that comes from circumstances, but a peace from heaven. You don't panic like before. You no longer run after what is running away. You feel that something is aligning, even without seeing the results yet. This is the first sign that the sky has started to move for you. Allah always starts by working in you before working around you. And now that your interior is stabilized, He begins to touch your exterior. The openings will come, blessings too, but not all at once, not in chaos. They will come like gentle rain after a long drought. Maybe you'll meet people you haven't seen in a long time. An unexpected opportunity will present itself. A project frozen for months will suddenly come back to life. These things are not coincidences. These are the fruits of your endurance. Allah never forgets what you sowed in tears. You have no idea what He has prepared for you. You have been tested deeply, so He will bless you deeply. It won't just be a momentary relief. It will be a tipping point. A shift from a season of trials to a season of demonstrations, not just for your comfort, but because He wants to make you a witness to His faithfulness. You are not forgotten, you are visited. You are not forgotten, you are visited. And this visitation comes from above. It will not depend on your efforts or your intelligence. It will come like a sudden light in a dark room. It is Allah who brings it. It is He who changes the seasons. Do you feel this turning point in the air? It's not an impression. It is a spiritual reality. Get ready. What you've been waiting for is on its way. Don't minimize how you feel right now. This is not pride nor exaggeration. It is a new consciousness, a profound awakening. You feel like you're ready. Ready, not because you have it all figured out, but because you have been through it all. And this is what Allah looks at. It is not your perfection that interests Him. It is your submission, your constancy, your loyalty. People don't know how many times you had to rebuild yourself in silence, the nights you felt lost but still got up to pray to Him. Everything you had to let go of, everything you had to sacrifice to stay in the light of Allah. But Allah knows, and He says to you now, you are ready. You are no longer a seed, you are a tree, and it is time to bear fruit. Your preparation was long because your mission is great. Your preparation has been long because your mission is great. What you are going to experience now will not be for you alone. It will be for others too. Allah will make you a refuge, a source, a living example, not for your glory, but for His name to be lifted up through your life. Because when He elevates an elected one, it is never just to comfort them. It is to make them become a channel of blessing. And now that you've been through the fire, you can carry the fire, not the one that burns, but the one that illuminates. The fire of faith, the fire of hope, the fire of right speech. You are called to speak with wisdom, to walk with authority, to live with clarity. What you say will have weight. Not because you impose yourself, but because you were formed in suffering. You are ready, not just to receive, but to transmit, not just to live, but to guide. You are no longer in the season where you hide. You are entering the season where Allah positions you, and you won't be alone. The angels will walk with you. Why everything happened this way. You will soon understand why everything had to happen this way, why you had to go through the incomprehension, the delays, the losses, the silences. All this was not a coincidence nor an oversight from heaven. It was a divine orchestration, calibrated for you, for your call, for the mission that awaits you. Now, the blessings that come into your life will not be like those of others. They will bear the trace of your endurance. They will not be superficial or fleeting. They will be durable, because the price was paid in the invisible. What you will see now are the rewards of painful but sincere obedience. You are an elected one. You are an elected one, and the elected ones are led differently. They don't experience the seasons like others. They are often isolated when others are celebrated. They are often tested when others are blessed. But when the hour of recovery arrives, they receive what no one can imitate, because it is not the world that gives to them. It is Allah, and Allah never gives half. When He blesses, He transforms. When He raises up, He establishes. When He honors, He does so before angels and men. And now that you're ready, He will present you to the world as a living testimony of His faithfulness. It will not be boasting or arrogance. This will be the confirmation of His promise over your life. You won't need to fight to make yourself heard. What you wear will speak for you. The doors will open, hearts will soften, the resources will come, not because you run after them, but because they are assigned to you. You no longer need to prove anything. You have entered a season where Allah Himself justifies your journey. Get ready, this is just the beginning. Get ready. What you are experiencing now is not the end of a fight. It is the beginning of a spiritual reign. The people who saw you fall will soon see you get up again. But this recovery will not be ordinary. It won't just be a matter of picking up your life where it left off. No, what you are going to experience is a heavenly recovery, an elevation carried by the hand of Allah Himself. Those who thought it was over for you will witness the opposite. And don't think that it's to silence them that this will happen. It's not for revenge. It's not to prove to them that you were right. This is because Allah wants His power to be seen through your recovery. He has kept your fall hidden, but He will expose your victory. He has allowed rejection in silence, but He will glorify your return in broad daylight. Their words did not destroy you, even if they hurt you. Their betrayals didn't stop you, even if they slowed you down. And today, it is this fidelity that heaven rewards. They have seen your tears, but they will also see your light. You did not need to respond to their attacks, because Allah was preparing a greater response, your transformation. Now is not the time to explain. It's time to manifest. Your silence was prophetic. Your patience was a heavenly strategy. And now that heaven is acting for you, things will speed up. Those who doubted will be confused. Those who despised you will be astonished. And those who abandoned you will want to come back. But you won't have a bitter heart, because when Allah elevates, He also purifies the heart. You haven't lost, you've been protected. You haven't lost anything, you have been protected. What you thought was loss was actually preservation. And now, what you receive is not a simple reparation. It is a blessing multiplied. It is the culmination of a long silence, a sacred fire, a silent call that only Allah had heard. The time has come, the time has come. You no longer need to hide. You are ready to walk like the chosen one that you are. You are entering a season where Allah's favor will accompany you wherever you go. You'll see doors open before you even hit them. Situations that seemed blocked for years will suddenly become unblocked, without effort, without noise. It's not because you've gotten stronger or smarter. This is because Allah's time has finally arrived. And when Allah's time comes, nothing can stop it. Not people, not the circumstances, not even your own doubts. You have reached the end of a training cycle, and heaven is ready to release what is yours. You are not early, you are not late. You are on time, exactly where you were supposed to be. What you will receive is linked to what you have become, and what you have become is the fruit of everything you have been through. That's why you can't fail now. You have been refined like gold, polished like a diamond. Trials did not destroy your value. They revealed it, and now the world will see what heaven always saw in you. Divine connections are coming. Be ready to see divine connections. Allah will place people on your path who will recognize what you are wearing, not out of jealousy, but out of spiritual confirmation. They will not know you by your name, but by your fruit, and they will open up spaces for you that you could never have reached alone. Because when Allah elevates a chosen one, He also places around him those who can bear this elevation. You will no longer have to fight to exist. Your mere presence will carry weight. Your voice will be heard, not because it cries loudly, but because it carries the weight of Him who formed you in secret. You no longer seek to convince. You now embody what you believed. And remember this, the goal was never just to bless you, but to transform you. And this transformation is nearing completion. Now you can enter into your inheritance without fear, without doubt, with the certainty that everything that happens now is an extension of your faithfulness. Chosen one, walk in your destiny. Chosen one, the time has come to walk in what you have waited for, prayed for, hoped for, and sometimes even despaired of.